All right, welcome everybody. Making sure I had sound. Looks like we do. Awesome, awesome. Doing a little bit of Fantasy Grounds prep in the old, using the old D&D Fantasy Grounds Unity. So I had a question posed to me during a stream, and they asked me, "Hey, how do you get the tokens and stuff on the map?" And I explained about. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So let's go ahead and look at our assets. So let me pop this out a little bit. Poof. There you go. So go here to library, assets. Now you'll notice I have a few assets available to me. I'm going to go to all. This is just images right now. So going to all, bring it out a little bit. Doesn't want to behave. The point is I have a lot. Okay. This is just through the letter D. Oh, that's not as all inclusive. So I have a lot of different things that are available to me. Um, Everybody, even if you don't have all the stuff I have, will have campaign and data as a dungeon master. Rule set as well. And then Fantasy Grounds comes with certain things. One of the reasons I have so many is because I subscribe to the art subscription. So this gives me access to a lot of these things. I've also downloaded a bunch and purchased token sets and things like that. So I wanted to talk about how do you do that. And the way these work is, of course, the more you have, like anything else, the longer it's going to take to search and access the different things that you want. But let's say, for example, you wanted, um, like the other night, what I was looking for was a door token. So I'll go door. Now it's going to bring me up a lot of different things. So instead, I think I'm going to go to images. I could also go to tokens, um, see what kind of door tokens I have. So you see here, boom, close it. These are all the images you have. Tamakura Squad, welcome, welcome. Getting ready to head out for birthday dinner. Woot! That's awesome, man. Hope you boys enjoy. That is very cool. You successfully survived another year. That is amazing. Good for you. There you go. Some applause just for you. All right. That's cool. Well, I hope it's everything you want and maybe a little bit of extra surprise. So what I was looking for is I was looking for to throw a door on the map because they found my player has a habit of saying I go up and I listen to the door instead of saying I listen at the door. I say I listen to the door. Um, and so just for S&G, I decided, hey, we'll have the door talk. So he goes up and says, I listen to the door. And he's like, hey, Scrambles, nice to meet you. He's, my name's Danny. Been standing here a while, waiting for somebody to come along. How you doing? What's your name? So anyway, so the whole thing went on. Scrambles happens to have a uh, mansion, Tresendor Manor. Those of you who've worked on Phandalin know about Duskendorf Manor. So he pops this thing off the hinges and starts carrying it around. So I needed a door. So I searched a door. Boom, grabbed a door and threw it on a map. Now, where did all these come from? Most of these come from the art pack, the art packs that I have subscriptions for. Some of them come from, like this is from a module I have. This is from the Yawning Portal Tomb of Horrors. So there's all different places that these images are pulled from within your assets. Now, let's say you want to add an asset. Of course, you can buy them from Fantasy Grounds, and when you do, we go to the Forge or the store and buy the token packs. They're great token packs, art packs, and especially if you're just running Savage Worlds and the campaign where the country and western campaign, or and it's got the western campaign setting with magic and stuff. So all you want is Old West. You don't need all the art packs, so you just spend $10 on the Old West art pack. You then have access to that anytime you want, and it makes it great. Anyway, you can buy them from Fantasy Grounds, or you can download them from any legal place on the web. So let's walk through that process. The hardest part of downloading things directly to Fantasy Grounds is finding out where your Fantasy Grounds is located. Because it's sort of hidden, so you don't mess it up, and so it makes it a little bit of a challenge to find it. Once you find it, I suggest you do what I did, which is pin it. Thanks a lot, Atomic. Yeah, you too. Enjoy your night, man. Have a great birthday dinner. And happy birthday. So if you pin it over here underneath your quick access, you'll then be able to find it. And from there, the rest of your life is really simple when it comes to putting stuff into Fantasy Grounds. But you can see it is pretty buried where these things are. So let's take a look and see. We'll minimize this, and let's take a look at Fantasy Grounds itself. So Fantasy Grounds, right click, properties. There we go. So this gives you where it is. Starts in if we Control A, highlights everything. Actually, that's not where we want it to be. I think it might be this one up here, target. Let's see, Control A, Control C to open up our notepad. So just ignore the stuff on the screen. Let me open up a new one. There we go. All right, so that's not what you want. So let's see if we can find where this would be. It's been many a moon since I had to worry about where this thing is. Open file location. Yeah, see, none of this is it. Doesn't bring us here. All right, well, I'll look into it. If you can't find where they are on your computers and you need help, let me know. Leave a note in the comments, and I will do a little bit more research. The point being, once you find where your images and where your things are kept, you pin it here, and then you have access to it. So I've had a AI generate this image for me. I have a couple different images here that I had them draw for me. So let's take this image, right click, save image as, just like you would any other file, except for this time you're going to drop it down. Now, actually, give me just a moment. Let me change my mind here. There we go. So I did a search for maps. You can also do free maps, things like that. If you're not monetized, if your stream isn't monetized, then you may not have to worry about some of the things. So what I many times will do, if I see a cool map that I'm going to use, like a done pre-built map or something like that, I will click on it and then follow the link to the Patreon and then buy the map. Or if it's on Reddit, and I have a Reddit account, then I have access to it, stuff like that. So just make sure what you're doing is legal. But once you find one, so we'll just do a little basic thing like this. You just click on it, save it as, and then you go to where you want. And you have a couple choices here. So on Fantasy Grounds, you can stick it in images, and this will be access on any campaign, any rule set, anything you want, you'll have access to that image. But if you do that with every single one that you have, it's going to get crowded after a while. So you can also go to campaigns and then drop it into the particular campaign that you're using. So say I'm working on Wednesdays right now, and then you have images. You can also, if you do portraits, so if you want just a portrait that shows up for the player while they're playing, you can use that. Goes here into portraits. You can see um, here. I'll get rid of the name. Why is it being weird? It's not images. All right, so go to campaigns and then go to Wednesdays and then drop it into images. So you can see I've got a lot of other images I've used for use in my campaign. Once it's here, so we'll go ahead and put test image, save. Now you come into Fantasy Grounds. You go to your assets and you click this little button right here. It says refresh folder assets. Click that. It will then pop up here in your chat, folder assets refreshed. So now you can just type test image. You can go to images, campaign. I double clicked it. Just a single click on this screen. There you go. And there's our test image right there. Boom. So it's as simple as that. If I was back at all or images, just type in test image. Boom, there it is. So that is how you add tokens, portraits, images into your fantasy grounds. It's simply a matter of knowing. The hardest part, like I said, is finding where your fantasy grounds is located. All of fantasy grounds data is located. Um, so you have, once you're in fantasy grounds, there are tokens right here for offer that can be used across all sets. See, these are all the tokens. These are token packs that I bought. Letters, like black letters, brown. I don't like the traditional letters that they come with. The C is pretty cool. Anyway, so these are all token packs that I purchased. This is futuristic, and I have access to those in tokens, data. See, and here's letters future, for example. Another one I purchased is Star Wars. So it has all these different tokens from the Star Wars franchise. And I can use them and drop them and put them on like monsters. So if I wanted my orc or my kobold to look like a stormtrooper, I could drop this right onto the NPC. So that is how you use tokens, portraits, images from the interwebs. And I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. Pixlr.com is a really good website. Pixlr.com. It's free. I used it so much that even though I didn't need the extra stuff, I did buy the one-time license to it. I don't think I've ever used anything that the license gives me, but I just used this so many times too, because to crop images, to make them PNG files. This was a JFIF file, and I got rid of all the crap that was around it and changed it to sandy colored instead of black. Um, so I do stuff. I use Pixlr quite a bit for my images, so I supported those. As Roll Advantage is the other one that I have saved up here. Roll Advantage is for your tokens, so and portraits. So all you do is go here, you click choose image. So this is the drought swallow I just had on the screen. And then I zoom in, make it bigger. And then you go here, you pick the type of border you want for your token. So let's say I wanted this cool fancy token. You can see what it's going to look like up here. I'm going to zoom back out, make it a little smaller, make it look like more like a bird. There we go. We're going to tilt it a little bit. So it looks like it's stacking. I can then change the background to like a lighter. If I want to go like a blue, so it's like a blue sky type thing. And for this, so say I wanted to do the sawtooth border instead, like this one, I can then click on this one and change the color of the border itself. So say I wanted to make it more of a brown to match the bird. And then you download it the same way you did before with the other right here, Fantasy Grounds. Wednesdays, I actually go here to Fantasy Grounds tokens. We're going to call it Drought Swallows. One, just to make sure it's not there. Save. And then same exact thing we did last time. Go to your Fantasy Grounds. Go to your assets. Switch. Refresh folder assets. And then there's a couple different ways. I can just type Drought Swallows. I can go to data. I'm in tokens right now. So I'm just going to type Drought. There you go. So there's the original. This is the one I made. So I'm going to take this, drag it over to here. Take this, drag it over to there. So now I have access to those tokens. Enroll Advantage can also be used if you just use the square ones, like these. You can make a portrait for your characters. Same thing, except for when you download it, you download it instead of going into tokens, you go into portraits. And you can see all the cool token portraits I've made for my other people, for my players. So roll advantage altogether.com and Pixlr, Pixlr, are really cool. I've been playing around today, my first time with this Hugging Face, huggingface.co is an artificial intelligence free version, and it has made some pretty cool images. Go back to my assets, go to images, go to Frosty. So it made those maps you saw. Oh, I haven't moved them yet, so let me move them now. So if you already have it on your computer, do the same thing. So we're gonna go right click over here, open it in a new window. So I'm going to be using some of these images here. So let's go with Frosty Map 2, Frosty Map 1. Oh, they're in downloads. There we go. I'm in the wrong spot. Okay, so Frosty Letter and Frosty Giant are the two I want. And I'm going to drop them into images under SmiteWorks. So drag images, boom. Come in here and I refresh. Click on all and go to the word I'm looking for, Frosty. So this is one of the cool images that the AI made. So once it's here, it's in the assets. So I'm going to create an image record for this particular campaign. Now that it's here, I can then mess with it and do whatever I want to with it. So you can see it's pretty high resolution. It's high, definitely high enough, more than high enough for what we want. Um, this is just the bad guy that they're going to run into. Uh, and I'm going to name him with the unlocked. It's going to be Frost Giant. So now it will show up in my images. What I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and throw it here into the story I have opened already. Alright, so we're going to open this, hit enter, and then just drop this over here. Actually, hold on. So when you name it, if it's unidentified, then it'll show up whatever is written here. Most images will say, I'm going to create the image record for this, unidentified map or image. So because I changed it, letter in, I'm just going to say Cloud Giants letter. That's where they found it. Again, identify it. If you click it as identified, then it'll show it whatever it is over here. Boom. All right, close this. So because I have it unidentified, when I drop it over here into my story, it says Frost Giant over here, like I want it to, which is perfect. All right, I'm going to take this. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to move this. This is my human name generator. I'm going to move this over here. Actually, I'm going to put the message of the day over here in this one. So I use my message of the day all the time to keep them updated as to what's going on in the world and what happened. They fly back to the east toward the mainland and find an island. Their long rest is interrupted by manticores and honey elk Sven. As the sun rises, a flock of birds approaches the campsite. So I made this image from scratch. This is their campsite. If you zoom in, you can see the water. And then their campsite. The trees are also swaying in the breeze a little bit. And you'll notice, because I changed the token, these tokens now have the tokens I changed them to. whole group over here. Drop it. Boom. There we go. All right. So the Griffin was over here. John was sort of by the Griffin. Athena is gone for the moment. And these guys are halflings, so they're smaller. Putting them in squares. There we go. All right, so this is where we are. So the other thing I wanted to do today, besides showing how to incorporate images, is I wanted to go ahead and mess with some characters. What I'm doing is, let's see, non-human names. That's cool. So what I'm doing is I'm doing like a Freaky Friday scenario. There's going to be a mist, the light rain, and it's going to cause them to switch bodies. And to do that, so all that's going to change is the people have all their skills and they have all their spells and everything that they normally would have, except they're in a different body. So their armor and equipment is whatever armor and equipment the other person has. So how would one go about doing that? By the way, I need to fix the time. So they took a rest. They the second watch was interrupted, so that would be 3 hours later. 1, 2, 3, and then 8 hours from that, so it's 8 in the morning. And it's been about 20 minutes since they've woken up, so we're just gonna say call it 8:30 the next day. And if you do use a calendar, which I suggest you do, all you do is click this speech bubble and it puts them in chat for during gameplay and stuff. The players can also open up the calendar and see this information as well. But then all you need to do is drop it right into your message of the day or your whatever it is that you wanted to add it to. Boom, there you go. All right, I know the text is a little small, but I'm not really messing with the text much. So normally I would make it bigger so everybody could read what's going on. But what it says isn't that important as the information I'm sharing. So that's why I'm not really worried about you having to read the text because it's not important. Okay, so I do want to throw this image in here as well, just in case. It talks about I'm just going to put this in here so I have it somewhere, even though I'm not using this. Poof, for Cloud Giant's letter. This is also in Kithri's. So we're closing all this, going to Kithri. And her inventory. All right, so she found a it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because oh, there's so much stuff, but we will figure it out. Okay. Double click to drop all items into drop map parcel that have a not carried status. Double click to drop all coins into a drop map parcel. Ooh, this might make life a lot easier. We'll see. Anyway, I'm looking for the letters that she found from the Giant's Keep. Medallion, a map. Alright, let's put something here in the Nashkel map. There you go. So at least now she has an actual map in her map. Alright, half a floor plan for a temple. I'm getting distracted, but actually I'm just gonna leave this for now. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Didn't want to, but I'll leave it. Okay, I don't see where she has. I'm gonna check, double check, make sure it's not still in the party sheet inventory. It is not. Alright, so yeah, I don't see letters anywhere. I don't see. Could have sworn she was already had it, but I don't see it. So let's go ahead and make it. Go to the items, campaigns, items, and we're going to type in letter, love letter, letter of introduction, letter from a dead colleague. These are all from the background information. So I'm just going to take this, drop it, pull it down, let go. It makes a copy of it. Notice the copy doesn't say where it came from because it's not in that folder. Unlock it. I'm then going to put the image here. And I'm going to change this to Cloud Giants letter. And then in here, enter Control 1 to make it no longer a link. And then say letter found on the Cloud Keep. And it is going to be identified. And then we're going to take this and drop it here into her Backpack. Okay, maybe she doesn't have a backpack. What? Oh, a bag of holding. Okay. Looks like she has two bags of holding for some reason. But there it is. All right, so it's under C. Drop it. Okay, I dropped it twice. Why don't I see it? Cloud Giants letter. Okay. One. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into characters. You see all the characters here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Delete. Let me go ahead and save it. So if we go to edit list, all you've got, this is a character. Joker's Chosen rating. Welcome, Raiders. Appreciate it. We're just looking at doubling characters, how to make duplicate of characters, how to save your characters within as a DM within Fantasy Grounds. Clown Squad coming in, putting a smile on your face. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you. All right, so you have characters. You open select characters, and then hit here where it says Edit List, and then it allows you to then export the character. So we're going to export character. Right here, it's in campaigns. Nope, I'm just going to put it in Fantasy Grounds. Just in the general Fantasy Grounds folder. And this is going to be Krek 10, and he is a sorcerer, Sork. So it just lets me know as I'm looking through it what he is and where he is. So we need to check in and make sure she's okay. Sounds like a plan. So I saved him. Now that I saved him, I can delete him. All right, everybody else is good. So now what I do is I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to take and let's start with Tusk and Genesis. So we're going to export Tusk, Fantasy Grounds. We're saving it as Tusk. I want to say he's a 6'5". Let's go to, I can't do this here. I'm pretty sure he's a 6 Barbarian 5. We're going to cancel. Let's open up the party sheet. I just don't want to make a mistake. Main is 8-3. So it's an 8 Barbarian 3 fighter. So we save, export, Tusk, 8 Barbarian 3 fighter. Save. And then he's going to be switching with Genesis. So we do Genesis. File name is gen space she is a 6'5", so she is a 6 bard 5 cleric. Save. Okay, so now that I have them saved, what I'm going to do is I'm going to then import add item. Oops, wrong one. That just makes a new one, so we delete that. So we want to import character down here. It's going to bring up a list of characters that you can pick from that I have out there floating in the ether. None of these are the ones that I just saved. So I go here to import character file. And I go down to the bottom. So here they are, Genesis and Tusk. Genesis, open. I'm doing the same thing, import character file, Tusk, open. Okay, so now I close this. Oops, I go back to characters. And now I go to add item. Dang it, did it again. All right, so we have our duplicates. We have Genesis. So this is actually going to be Jenny Half Orc. And what I'm going to do is I don't want them to see this. So down here where my fantasy grounds is, if you click it, right click it, you can click it again, the top of it, and open up a second fantasy grounds. This time I'm joining the campaign instead of loading it. So I'm joining my own campaign as a player. So while this loads, we will come back to this, to our other one. And you can see over here it says Spencer 77 connected. Well, you probably can't see because it's too small, but that's okay. And because we have a player connecting, we wait for this blue circle. So what I have to do is, because Genesis is now Jenny the half orc, there we go, close this. And then I just deleted Tusk, so we're going to open him, add him, import. I don't think it added to my list. He's back. All right, welcome back. Don't think it added to my list, but I'll double check because I don't need too many of them in here. Let's go up. Waiting for Fantasy Grounds to catch up with the blue circle. So these are in sort of numerical order, alphabetical order, but not completely. All right, so now we import character file. We go to the one we wanted, Tusk, open, and then close. And now when we open up characters, it is here. Boom. Tusky, half elf. All right, and so then, there we go. So remember I mentioned to see if it's loaded yet. It has not loaded yet, so we're still waiting. Let's switch over to it, make sure it's loading. There it is. Cool, cool, cool. It is loading. go. All right, so I want to grab this one. And then we're going to close it. And then we're going to go to characters again and grab this one. So now, because I, as a player, have grabbed them when the two players come in, they will only see their normal characters. They won't know that these duplicates are here. I really don't need this anymore. So I think I'm going to go ahead and exit out. Try to save some CPU. All right, so we have to change the race and we have to change the equipment. So we pull up the original, and we also need to change the image. So this is a Jenny half-orc. I'm going to drop the image right there. Oh, it didn't like it. All right, portraits, you can't really do that too. You can do it over here though. So I can do Tusk. Bloop, there we go. And then here we just click it, and now I just gotta find Tusk. I think he is in data. Might be under campaign, but I'll check. Nope, he is not here. So let's go back. Interesting. Where is he? Maybe he might not be in official portraits. He might be in themes, races. This is all Fancy Grounds. Fancy Grounds. This is all Starfinder. Interesting. Okay, so I doesn't look like he's where he should be. So I'm going to guess. Let's check one more time in data. Is there a subset within data? There is not. Okay, well, I may have to make a portrait for him real quick. If it's not letting me load it, let me see. Well, let me drop it over here. Nope. Doesn't like it. All right. Anyway. I don't remember where she's from either. This is the one I used to use for Genesis, so we'll use that for now. I still like this one better than the old one anyway. Let me do one last quick check to see if I can find her. I think she's in... That's not in the Pathfinder Arconic. These characters are so old that I don't think I ever transferred them over from the old Fancy Grounds that was not Unity. So, but let me check here to see if they're in the elves. Yeah, these are all fancy, better done. Yeah. All right, so we'll worry about that stuff later. I'm not really worried. Let me see. Go back to the D&D 5e. Go to Half Orc. There we go. All right, so now we need to change the race. So we're going to, I don't think you can actually change the race in Fantasy Grounds. You would have to rebuild the whole character. So what I'm going to do is just type it in here. Half elf. And then go to the abilities. So what I want to do is I'm going to pull it from the original. So instead of messing with characters, this guy, we're going to go ahead and kill him. Bring up the original. Go to abilities. All right, so traits. I'm able to level up one more level off stream for John, so I can be the same level up at the party. Let's see. Thought you were. Let's level 10. Did we have a fight? Yes, we did. So you can go ahead and pull that log on if you want, and level up John. For those watching, he's a 7 rogue, 3 sorcerer. If you take sorcerer, you will get an ASI. Actually, either one of them gives you an ASI, so it doesn't really matter which one you do. Let's see. Give me just a moment here. I'm trying to find out. Just a second. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hold on a second. I need your. I'm checking this. This is some. We're reading through. Looks like we had some changes to the game that's going to be starting in an hour. Okay, that answers that question. Good to go. All right, back over to Spend Zone. All right.
Hey Sven, I just had a general question.
Okay.
I don't know if this is metagaming or not, but what would benefit me more, rogue or sorcerer? Like, what do I unlock with sorcerer ability, skill trait, and then what do I unlock with rogue?
All right. So I want to check something. Gotta wait for my phone to catch up.
Because I don't know how to check what my next ability slots would be for how many skills, spell slots I would get for taking one in sorcerer. Like, get what I'm saying?
I do. So the answer, I was just checking to see if you could be heard. So it wouldn't saves me from having to repeat myself, repeat everything you say.
Hello?
Um, So
Yeah, they can hear me.
you can hear you. So to answer your question, I just go to the PHP and I can take a look and see the, who is this? Wizard. So for Rogue at going up to 8, you get, on both of them, 7 and 4 is not as big because you get ability score improvements. So feats, or you can improve one of your abilities by 2 or 2 of them by 1.
Well, I want to feed because I want to take mounted combatant to be able to ride Ravenclaw into fights and stuff and shoot and stuff. So that's why I was
Okay.
asking, can I take mountain combatant? Would that work with your gameplay or?
You could if you wanted, sure. So for the rogue, besides the ability score improvement, nothing changes, but it does lead up to 9 where everything changes. Your proficiency bonus increases, your sneak attack goes up, and you also get an archetype feature bonus. So lots of things happen at 9 for the rogue. The sorcerer at 4, besides the
Am I able to change my character around off stream and be able to switch one skill point from sorcerer to rogue, or no? Or would I have to wait to level up? Would you allow that, or
what do you mean by skill point? You talking about level?
like one level and take one level from sorcerer and delete that and put it in rogue to get the archetype? Because I didn't know offhand I would get another archetype for rogue.
It's not another archetype, it's just another feature. You just get another thing that you can do.
Oh, okay. So is it worth it, you think, or?
Not really, and that is, we would have to kill John and rebuild him completely because you can't just take away
Okay.
levels in Fancy Grounds.
Okay, it's not
If
like
you wanted
Roll20 where you
to,
could actively remove levels and come back. Yeah.
correct. Now, you guys, they're going to level up again. So if you wanted to get 2 more levels in Rogue, you can.
Okay.
But getting back to your original question, at 4th, you gain another sorcery point, and you'll gain another cantrip as a sorcerer. So you'll have access to
Um,
5 cantrips instead of 4, and
I'm
you'll
gonna
have
go.
4
I'm
sorcery
gonna.
points.
I'm gonna go 2 points in the rogue. I feel to get to 9 to get the roguish archetype. I believe it is.
Okay, so what I'm talking about is you
How do I
as an
tell?
assassin. So as an assassin, what all that means is that at level 9 you get an assassin benefit, and that is Thief Assassin Infiltration Expertise. So starting at level 9, you can create false identities for yourself. You have to spend 7 days and 25 gold, but it allows you to establish a history, profession, and affiliations for that identity. So it basically allows you to patch yourself off as a new person. Instead of being John
Mm,
Hancock, you can be somebody else. Um, and then, of course, you can also be in disguise for that and everything else. So that's what you're gaining at level 9. It's not a combat related thing. It would just be for role playing purposes.
okay.
That's
So
what
you
an
said
assassin at
either
9
or.
gets.
You said either or rogue or sorcerer. I get a I get a ability, right?
You get
I
the
mean
ability
trait
score
or something.
increase, correct? Defeat or
Yeah.
increase the bonuses. Yes.
Well, I want to feed,
Okay.
but that's what I'm going to do. I want to take one in a rogue, so put that up to 8,
Yep.
and I'm going to put it up to 9. Why did I put it up to 9? There we go. It's up to 8 now. I just drag that to my level, correct?
No, I'm not sure what you did. How did you change it?
I
back and
went to
forth.
class. I went to class and level. It says level 8 rogue, level
Did
3
you just
sorcerer.
type it into the
Yeah,
box?
I just typed it in the rogue. Yeah, 8. Yeah.
Okay, so no, what you need to do is you need to, where the little bar is, underneath level up, there's a edit list, add item, and then a shield underneath that by rogue. Click on that and drag it down and let go. And that will change it from the book to level 8, and you should see now, you
There we
should
go.
see a bunch of things in the
Yes, I got
chat.
it. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I
And
got
how
plus
many
8
hit
hit
points?
points. It
8.
says
Okay.
plus 8. Yeah.
So that's
The
8
additional
plus
rogue
3 is
added to.
11. So you should have 3, so it's 107. So you actually get 10
Okay.
hit points. So you're at
Well,
106.
and also, I want to take a look at the feet and grab the feet mount button. So let me go to feet and mounted combatant. I got skills. Feet.
And just drag it over to the abilities page, and it'll drop into there.
All right, I took mountain combatant. What does that actually do now?
So click the shield, and it'll open up, and you can read
You
it.
are dangerous foe to face while mounted. While you are mounted, you and are in incapacity. You gain a full amount. You have advantage on melee attack rolls against any unmounted creature that's smaller than your mount. You can force an attack targeted at your mount target you instead. If your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make the decision, it takes only half damage. Instead, takes no damage if it succeeds on stage roll, and only half damage if it fails. Interesting. So I'm able to pretty much ride him into battle now and hop on him and ride him into battle.
Correct.
Now,
And that will take place over the next couple days as you're learning and training with him and working with him.
yes, I know.
And that'll
I have
be
to role play that
by the
out. I
time
know.
you get back to Nashkel, you should be pretty close to exactly what you need.
So, yeah. All right. I was just curious of what weapons can I use while mounted. Just curious because it doesn't actually say use any weapon or.
Correct. It's nothing else changes. You can still cast. You still have to have hands free. You can, especially with mounted combatant, you can cast spells, use ranged weapons. The only different reason people use the things like lances is because they have a longer reach. But your normal weapons, you
Am
just
I
have to be
able?
right next to them.
Is a lance a finesse weapon or no?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because I know with rogues you can only have finesse weapons, so that's why I was asking.
Well, you can use other weapons. It's just you don't get the bonus from sneak attack and from using
Yeah.
both hands if you use non-finesse weapons.
Okay. I was just curious. Yeah. So, what armor would I look at for him? Be able to look at for a mount to be able to decide? Because I know when being a seasoned adventurer, I would know like what armor. I would know what armor would be able to go on what mount. Correct? Is there a list of armors that I can look at in D&D Beyond? Not D&D Beyond, Fantasy Grounds that allows me to see what armor my Griffin is able to equip.
So barding is the same as whatever armor
Okay.
you are using. It just costs for a large creature. It costs 5 times the amount. And so you can use anything from hide, and leather
Am I able
armor
to use
all the way
chainmail
up
for my
to
mount or
plate mail if you want, but
plate
it
mail? How
costs
much is?
5
I was gonna
times
say.
as much for
I
a
was gonna
large
say yeah.
creature.
I was gonna say plate mail would be expensive. I don't think I have enough gold for plate mail. I mean, actually, good luck. Money.
And then you would have to have it made. So, because they don't just have griffin barding
Plate.
laying around. So you would have to have it crafted. Now you have a blacksmith in the party, so he can probably make it for you. So it's just a
I
matter of buying
have
the
250 PP, 724 GP, 12 copper pieces, and 54 silver pieces, and 7 EP. So I'm assuming I probably could afford it. I would assume so, because like EP is the most expensive money, and I have 7 of it, isn't it?
No, platinum is the
So I have 250
biggest one.
So I have 250 platinum pieces. Would that be enough, you think, logically, for a large griffin to be fully mounted in like armor?
Again, it depends on the armor.
Well, I
So
would say
if you
plate
get
mail, for example.
if you get full plate,
And does the armor affect my griffin as well, like movement speed? Because like its speed is 30 feet, but it can fly 80 feet.
yep,
Would it be
it's whatever
slower?
the armor would be, whatever minuses the armor has, it would
Is
also
there
affect him. So it's normally 1,500.
1,500 platinum pieces or gold pieces?
So it would be a total of 7,500 for
What, platinum or
plate
gold?
mail, gold. So that's it would
So
be
I have 720.
750 platinum
Okay.
because each
Now,
platinum is
now
10
how many?
gold.
Okay, so 10 gold, and then so I have 724 gold pieces, and can I turn that into how much? And I have 250 platinum. Would I be able to? How would I? How many? So you said it's 100 gold
So you
pieces
basically have
to.
half. You have 3,200 and change
Okay.
gold right now. Now, if you wanted to go with chain mail, there's also scale mail. So scale mail is the next one down. Scale mail is only 50 gold, and that's only 200, so it'll be 250 gold or 25 platinum for, and that's give him an armor class of 14. Now, right now, he already has
Armor class of
12,
12.
so it would boost him by 2. And the negative for scale is he would have disadvantage on stealth. And
Well,
let's
I
see
mean,
what
I don't think
chain.
I'm going to be riding a giant griffin into a stealth situation, so. Also, if I'm on my griffin, can he also attack with his claws while I'm riding him? If say he was flying, if I shot, like for example, could I shoot an arrow if I was within range, and then he flies 80 feet and attacks with his claws and beak, or is that a bonus? How would that work out?
All right, so let's finish this with the mail first. Chain mail is 75 gold base, and it gives you an armor class of 16. So chainmail, I thought it was opposite, but chainmail is actually better. What is his strength? His strength is
His strength is 20. It has a plus
20,
5
so
passive.
it's no issue at all as far as being able to use chainmail because you have to have a certain strength in order to do it. But
Yeah,
chainmail will cost you 375 gold or
I think I'll go with
37 and a
chain.
half plate. Platinum.
I think I'll go with chainmail personally because plate mail just seems way too overpriced for what it's worth.
But again, it's going to cost, it's going to take a lot of time to link all those chains, and you're going to have it made.
Yeah, no.
And the the difference is plate mail gives you 18, chainmail gives you 16.
Okay.
Would give him 16. Then the answer to your other question, let me see if I still have it linked here. Schools of Magic, conditions, burst effects. Pets, mounts. I don't. Alright, so let me pull it up. Hold on a second. Go to modules.
Also, on the next subject after that, how would I go about attacking with? Because it says that his multi-attacker Griffin makes 2 attacks, one with his beak and one with his claws. How would I go about doing that, like triggering that effect?
I can't find the player's. Here it is. Player's handbook. Reference manual. Combat. Mounted combat. Open. Alright, so you should save this. Drop it into one of your hotkeys.
I'll drop that into my 2 hotkey.
There it is. I'm dropping it into here. Boof. Alright, so if you look at on the bottom, it says controlling a mount. While you're mounted, you have 2 options. You can either control the mount or allow it to act independently. The Griffin is definitely intelligent enough, so it would act independently. The initiative of a controlled mount changes to match yours when you're on it. It moves as you direct it and only has 3 actions: dash, disengage, and dodge. An independent mount retains its place in the initiative order. Bearing a rider puts no restrictions on the actions a mount can take, and it moves and acts as it wishes. It might flee from combat, rush to attack and devour a foe, or otherwise act against your wishes. In either case, the mount provokes an op attack. You can target you or the mount. The attacker can target you or the mount. So it's basically what you want to do. If you want to control it, then all it is it changes your move action to its speed. If you don't want to control it, then it does whatever it wants on its turn, and you're along for the ride. On your turn, wherever you are, that's where you are, and you do what you do from its back.
Am I able to control it and attack myself, or do I have to use it to attack when I'm controlling it?
So it's one.
Like for example,
if you want to attack, it's base. If you want him to attack, then you cannot control it. You have to let it go and do whatever it wants to do. You're sitting on its back. It will go where it wants to go. It will attack where it wants to attack, and stuff like that.
Okay.
You're along for the ride. If you're close enough, you can attack things from its back, shoot things from its back, cast spells from its back. That's fine. Or you can get off, and it will attack and do stuff on its own. Or you can control it, and it won't attack. It will just move, dash, and disengage, and dodge.
Yeah. So I think I'm probably going to use it to control it a majority of the time and use it to rain arrows with my bow. Not my crossbow. I don't have a crossbow, but my bow.
Mm-hmm.
Get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what was my main focus with this was. I'm not so much worried about it attacking unless I get knocked off of it or something along that lines. Then it would make sense for it to attack on its own to defend me, but otherwise I would mainly controlling it majority wise. And who is the blacksmith in the group? Just curious.
Tusk.
Tusk is a blacksmith. Fair enough.
Just remember, with your mounted combatant feat, you have bonuses if you attack in melee from the back of the Griffin.
Really, I do?
You have advantage on anything that's smaller than the Griffin when you're attacking in melee.
But that's the problem though. I can't. I would have to be within 5 feet of them attacking like them, and that's puts yeah. So what proficient? Not proficient, but what bonuses do I get? Because it doesn't actually tell me. I don't think.
It does if you
Second.
open up the feat on your abilities page. It's the
Oh, it
thing you
doesn't.
read before. You have
Oh, okay.
advantage on attacks, and then if
Yeah,
something
no.
attacks the griffin, you can have it attack you instead.
You have advantage on melee attack rolls against unmounted creature that is smaller than your mount. How big is my mount? Just curious. It's a large monstrosity, yes, but how large?
It's the size. The size is large, so it takes up 4 squares. Anything smaller than that, anything medium, small, tiny, is smaller
So,
than
for
large.
example, if I wanted to attack, say, a monster that only takes up 1 square with a melee attack, I would have advantage on that, correct?
Correct. And because it's an ally, you would automatically have sneak attack.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you can tell me this or not, but how expensive is it to normally keep a griffin? How much would I have to pay weekly or daily or monthly for it?
So that depends. When you get back to Nashville, you can do all that research and find out what it's going to cost you. The biggest
Okay,
you're going to
I didn't know.
have
I
permission
didn't
to
know.
have it
I
within the
didn't.
city, and you're going to have to decide where you're going to keep it. It's going to be more expensive if you keep it with you at Bronzeholm. It's going to be less expensive if you keep it in the stables because the stables are monitored, and then it just matter and they'll feed it and take care of it for you and stuff. Uh, Whereas you have to care for it yourself.
I didn't know if there was a specific book or something in the player's handbook that tells you how much keeping a mount costs and stuff like that, or
No, it
the
depends on the
usual.
city and the setting and everything, so you wouldn't know that. No way to
Well,
know that.
I would keep it where it's most safe, so that would probably be the standard stables, right?
Correct. Nashville has stables for exotic creatures, so you can keep it there. But again, when you get back to Nashville, you can do that, ask around, and figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah. Who do I talk to get permission of the thing? I'm assuming the mayor would be the most logical choice.
Well, when you get back to Nashville, you can find that out. You wouldn't know right
Cool.
now.
I didn't know if I knew or not, or offhand because I was adventure. Yeah.
Hey Drake, welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to be finishing up here in a few minutes and then jumping on your table.
Wait, you're streaming tonight or no?
I am. I'm playing tonight and streaming tonight. So at 7 to 10, welcome to stop by.
Yeah, are you streaming Drake's game or no?
I host his game, but I don't stream.
Oh, who is Drake?
Drake Takes is the one who does all my videos, and he also is a good DM.
Oh, who
I'm
is
a
he in the
player for him.
Discord?
Drake Takes. I DM. I'm a player for him on Saturdays, Tuesdays, now Thursdays.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, no, I don't see Drake Takes in the Discord. That's why I was asking.
He's not on mine. I'm on his.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was in yours or not. Also, Spen, once you're done with stream, check out that song I posted. It's Dwarven Metal.
Okay.
In general. Think you would like it being a D&D guy. I was Googling D&D soundtracks, and it popped up Dwarven Metal song. I'm like, damn, okay, it's fire. I don't know if you
Just
like
be careful
metal,
if you're going
but
to stream those soundtracks because a lot of them are monetized. So
yeah, no, I'm not streaming it, but it's by Napalm Records. You can't stream it; you'll get DMCA'd in outer space. But it's good to listen to offline when you're just grinding like Dungeons and Dragons online or PC games. It's good to vibe to.
right.
But yes, thank you for allowing me to level up and take Mounted Combatant. 5th week, 5 weeks is Nick's campaign, so that's good. I know that for now.
Yep. All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Catch you later. Have fun.
Alrighty. So it doesn't allow you to add traits because those are added by your race, and so it doesn't. They don't want players messing, or DMs apparently messing with them. And I'm trying to do it like cheat and do it manually and stuff, but it's not letting me do that. So we're just going to ignore this aspect of it, and instead we're going to go to the actions and change out the actions for those traits. So let's see where he has it nice and neat as half orc. So I'm going to go to her actions and pull over her elf and then delete these. Come on. Potions, items, misc. Here we go. She has it under miscellaneous. So half elf ancestry. Boink. There we go. So now I can get rid of these. Just go here. On the bottom here, you click this editing and you delete this. Half orc relentless. Delete it. Go back to stop editing the list. And then is that the only thing she has? Savage attacks is not hers. Why is that listed under her abilities? Savage attacks, that's weird. Anyway, as a half elf, she shouldn't have that trait. Anyway, and then the 2 skills. All right, so this is still, yep, that hasn't changed. So nothing else changes as far as that's concerned. Okay. So now all we have to do is we have to change the inventory. So I basically had to delete all of his inventory and switch it over with all of the inventory from her. And vice versa, I'll have to do that with the other person too. So let's see if there's an easy way to do it. I was looking at one of my extensions here. Let's see. Double click to drop all items into a drop map parcel that have a no carried status. Double click. Node not in the combat tracker. You're correct, he's not. All right. Make them a parcel just in case. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm doing a Freaky Friday thing where this magical mist comes over, rain comes over them, and for the characters are going to be swapping places, but it's only mental. So this is Tusky half elf. So Tusk, the half orc barbarian fighter, is going to be in the body of Genesis, the half elf bard cleric. So he has, if you look at his abilities, he has all of the abilities, the feats and the scores and everything that she has, that he has normally, but his stats, I need to change his stats. So his stats and his, there we go, 14, con 18, 10, 20, 18. Oops. 20. Dadgummit. 20, 18. All right, 3:30. I gotta get going. But his stats and his inventory are all the same. Yes, so I'm going to the next level. I made a copy of the characters. So I made a second copy, and I put them. I even opened up my player version. So here's Jenny the half orc, and Genesis normal, and here's Tusk and Tusky half elf, and I took ownership of those two new ones so they don't see them in the character selection with my player version. Yes, so the nice thing is I have done it where the characters were captured by Drow and stuff, and so I made parcels of all their stuff and threw it all into a parcel, deleted everything. But this time I don't have to do that because all the gear is still there on the original character sheet. So luckily, all I'll have to do is change any com uh, minds from blank, any things that they drink or consumables. That's the word I was looking for. I kept saying combustibles, and I'm like, I know that's not it. Anyway, any consumables I'll have to alter again, but other than that, it's gonna be good. So, yep. So here's Barbarian Fighter with Strength of 12, Dex of 14. So it'll be fun to see how it goes. His right now. So once I get the gear switched over, I'll also have to switch the armor classes up because he's going to be wearing full. He's a female, by the way. That switched genders, and then I also, once I make sure this works the way I want it to, and it looks like it's going to, the other two characters are a halfling rogue and a uh, gnome who is a warlock wizard, level 6 wizard. I mean warlock and level 5 wizard. So they're going to be switching places, and then so it'll be fun. Boxers to panties. What do you do exactly? So it'll be interesting to see. And I have decent role players, so I'm hoping that this will. So it should play out pretty well. I'm not going to have it last for too long. Uh, really just depends on how it plays out. I'm either just going to have it revert back, or they may have to go on a quest to find the items to swap them back. We'll see. Because you can't have, because the Tusk the Barbarian runs around usually shirtless with just his trousers and a big double-bladed axe and stuff. You can't do that as a female half-elf, so it'll be interesting to see how they play it out. Like I said, I think I know at least two of them are really good at role-playing. The other two, I think, will step up and role-play it really well as well. So we'll see. Should be fun. See how it plays out when it takes place, which will be 2 weeks from yesterday. So, anyway, thanks for hanging out, Drake and Joker. Appreciate you. Atomic showed up as well. It's Atomic's birthday, Drake. So, if we get a chance, stop by his stream tomorrow morning. Say hi to him. Wish him a late birthday. They're going out to a birthday dinner tonight. And don't forget, everybody, to like and subscribe. And whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day. Stick around. You'll get to see me hosting Drake, and then come back again in 3.5 hours, and we'll be doing some D's and the other D's. So stick around, everybody.